Alright everybody, welcome back to another wonderful video on this channel. And as you've seen in the last videos, Myrtle runs great. Well, not great, but, well, I have low standards. It runs on all 8 cylinders. Yeah. So, right now on the list, first things first, we're going to change the oil. Because I put 5W30, I think. I don't remember what oil I put in it. I think I put 5W30 in it. And which is fine, but this engine that I got is really worn out apparently, and at idle in gear, it doesn't really have oil pressure. Like, it's got maybe 5 pounds, which is it's acceptable. 1 pound of oil pressure per 100 RPM is a good rule of thumb. But I'd like it to be a little higher than that. It just makes me a little uncomfortable. So, I pulled a Vice Grip Garage, and I got 1540 Shell Rotella T5 diesel oil. I'm going to throw some of that in there, along with some not comp cams, but I don't remember what brand. Some brand of break-in additive, just because it has a lot of zinc in it, which you need for flat tappet cams and old engines. Because flat tappet cams, it's a metal on metal wear situation, and zinc adds a lot of anti-wear properties to that metal on metal contact. And that's the issue with the original engine out of the truck, was it either ran low on oil or there wasn't zinc added to it, one of the two. And my old C10, I never added zinc to the oil because I didn't know you were supposed to, and I never had a problem with it. Here's Pepper. I never had a problem with it. Hi, girl. But yeah, it just depends. It depends. Depends on the engine. Depends on how the cam was cast and machined, and how the lifters were machined and made. Pepper came in here, so. Hi, I haven't seen you all day, girl. How you doing? Hi. Yeah, you're excited to see me, aren't you? Yeah. So, I also got some leak dye from work. I'm gonna put some I'm busy here. Give me a minute. Okay. I also got some leak dye from work. I'm going to throw in the coolant because we have a massive coolant leak, like 2 gallons in a 20-minute drive kind of thing. So that's a slight issue that should be fixed, and or keep a 55-gallon drum of coolant in the back of the truck. One of the two. Anyway, I'm kidding. We're going to fix that. So I'm going to search around again. I'll have to fill it up with coolant, but so I got more coolant, I got oil, I got the zinc additive at O'Reilly's. I got some RTV. That way I can RTV whatever's leaking. Hopefully it's not a freeze plug. I hope. I heard like a trickling sound last night, so I'm really hoping it didn't blow out the intake. It didn't blow out the intake gaskets, and it's sending oil into the crank, or coolant into the crankcase. That's part of the reason I'm going to change the oil, but the main reason is that it doesn't have great oil pressure, so I'm going to put some thicker oil in it to raise that up. Which we're going from a 30 weight to a 40 weight, so that's not going to make much of a difference on the hot oil pressure. But it should help, and if it's still not great, I'll dump some Lucas in it or something, or I don't know. How thick do they make oil? Because I need 100. I could put 80W90 in it. Or 95 140. That would work. That would thicken it up some. Just put gear oil in it. That'd be fine. Yeah, that'd be fine. Just dump a bottle of Lucas and some zinc in it, it'll be fine. Just like new. So yeah, that's the plan for today. So let's get rolling. weeping out where the water pump mates to the block, which sucks because that means everything on the front of the motor's got to come off. Yep, that's where it's coming from. Okay. Well, that's at least explainable now. That makes me feel a lot better. The next question is, did I get that bolt tight enough? I think I put it on with the impact, so tightness should not be a problem. That wasn't that tight. I doubt tightening it's going to fix it since it already blew the gasket out of it. Nope, didn't fix it. Okay. So, we're pulling the water pump off. And to make this more difficult, the engine's in the truck now. But, it's a whole lot better than the freeze plug that I had a theory of it being. So that's a plus. So, what I need to do now is somehow figure out how to drain the coolant that I put in here. Since it's, you know, all new, basically. And actually, probably what I also should do, run to town and get does O'Reilly's have water pumps in stock? So they have a water pump in stock. I'm just going to buy one. Alright, we're going to run to Redbud, to O'Reilly's, and get some gasket material. That way my impatient butt doesn't have to wait on the RTV to dry. So I'll be back. Alrighty folks, now this thing's running like a sewing machine. Don't worry, that was me. I know what I did. No leaks, got some fresh oil in it, fixed the coolant leak, tuned on the timing using the vacuum gauge. If anybody wants, I'll explain how you tune timing with a vacuum gauge. In a way, it's better because the engine tells you what it wants instead of you telling it what it should have. Anyway, tune the timing with a vacuum gauge, played around with the carburetor, the choke was stuck on. So I bumped that down and then it wouldn't idle. So basically it was too lean on the idle circuit, so I cranked the idle screws out about 2 full turns, which they feel like they're pretty far out anyway, so I might have a vacuum leak going on somewhere, but I got it idling right now. I'll mess with that later. I want to go drive it right now because I haven't really driven it a whole lot. So that's a temporary fix. I'll investigate and make sure I don't have a vacuum leak somewhere, but I had to redo a bunch of vacuum hoses because the distributor was hooked up to ported vacuum and not manifold vacuum, which is a no-go for timing because it messes everything up on a vehicle that it's supposed to be set up this way. At least I think anyway. Yeah, that's right, yeah. So anyway, I had to reroute some vacuum lines and do some stuff, but I worked some of my voodoo magic and it's running pretty good now. So I'm gonna go drive it and see how she does now, because last night it felt, I mean, it was pretty good last night. It had decent pickup, but it wouldn't let me get into the secondaries any, and it would just kind of sputter and do a quadra bog type deal. But it the timing was all whacked out. We had coolant spraying everywhere, so that probably didn't help. The choke was stuck on, so evidently the air fuel was messed up, and it wasn't right last night, but it did run and drive pretty good. So I'm gonna go drive it again, see what it feels like, and give you all an update on what it is now. So let's go for a drive.